Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we're going to be jumping down into the short-term views for Bitcoin, taking a look at the price action, what's been going on the hourly charts and what we think is likely to happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, smash that like button, really do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, guys, you're missing a trick. Check it out, linked in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there, so why not go ahead and check it out. Let's jump right down into this one though, right? So we're going to take a look at two things today. One will be Elliott Wave theory and the other smart money concepts. Pushing the two things together, we end up with a pretty decent idea as to kind of where things are likely to go. So a few updates from yesterday, right? So we're going to start things off with our triangle, right? So our triangle, I clearly had this a little bit too optimistically, thinking it was going to take longer to play out. But it does look like we have a real tight triangle right towards the end here, okay, and we've moved all the way down. We've got confirmation of our move to the downside. Now our targeted range yesterday was 25,987 to 26,491, and this is still very much in play. You can see that this wick down here took us down to a low of $26,508.14, and we can look at this violent move down from our E wave just up here. So let's go ahead and review this, right? So our original D wave expectations were to come here, then we're going to move up into an E, then we're going to move down. It looks like things coiled up really tight in a contracting triangle right towards the very end. If I just adjust these trend lines just a fraction here, you can see how we start to pull this in real tight just towards the end right here, okay, and we can see that also if I pull this in on this angle right here, how tight this became. So we end up with this contracting triangle with wave D and E kind of coiling up real quick and then getting this explosive move down. Now with this, we can acknowledge we had a leading diagonal, to me that looked like an expanding diagonal right in here. Let's see if I can depict this a little bit for you. So right in here to here, you can kind of see it expanded out just a little bit. Ultimately, it's an interesting one. We then moved up, then we had this big wave 3. I won't really have to do this because we kind of know that we're already in an impulsive area. You can see that we came down lower than 2.618. 1.618 is our minimum threshold for our wave 3. So we know that this is then a wave 4 coming up here, and we're coiling up quite nicely. Again, this does not look like a triangle at the moment. So if I were to draw my lines on here, we can kind of see that what we're doing at the moment is actually going into lower lows and lower highs. So it's coiling up a bit. Now, one of the things that we could be looking at here is a diagonal structure in our final fifth wave movement, okay, and this has the ability to short or come a little bit shorter than we normally would expect it to. Likewise, it'll be interesting to kind of see whether this is slowly grinding its way down or not. This could be our wave 1, this could be our wave 2, meaning we've still got to have a wave 3, 4, and then 5. So I expect overlap into this. So let's go ahead and break that down, right? So we know that we're doing this 1, 2, kind of 3, up here is 4, got to come down into 5, right? So this final fifth wave movement, if it is a diagonal structure, then really what we're looking for here is a 5-wave structure that has overlap, and it'll be something to this effect, and each of these will be comprised of 3 waves. Technically could be A, B, C, or W, X, Y, doesn't really matter. Like that, and obviously over here, not that I can seem to click these buttons, but you can kind of get the idea. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. So it's all going to be made up of 3-wave structures. So when we start taking a look at this, what do we see? Well, we can see that we've had a 3-wave structure right here. Nothing wrong with that. We have this move coming up here. Now, this is interesting because we are overbought on our hourly, oversold on daily for 4-hour and 8-hour charts here. It's possible that we actually have double top scenario right up here, or push just a little bit higher than 27,176, but we shouldn't breach up higher than 27,313 unless our wave 4 has not completed, because it's possible that our wave 4 is still in play here. And our bigger kind of picture on that wave 4 would have to be, let me just go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. our bigger wave 4 expectations would be up here towards 27,600, right? So we know that there's that potential to do that 1-to-1 right in here. That'd be something that would look like this, although we don't think that's going to be overly too likely at this stage. We can see that our invalidation level is 27,666 to the penny, and typically our retracement zone on this is going to actually be already hit. We've already kind of come up to that. So for the most part, we've kind of met our minimum expectations on this fourth wave, but the fourth wave does still have that potential to push up a little bit higher here, and that's the concern. So hopefully we don't have to do that, and we can see the diagonal playing out. It'll be a nice way to kind of finish this off quickly so that we can get that long position going, because I do think that when we come down into this range, that's going to be where we find those long positions. Okay, so we're looking for that, but in order for us to kind of go long, we want to kind of finish off this structure down here. Okay, failure to do so will just mean that we're coiling up already, and we'll know that a second that we go higher than 27,666, that we can put an end to that structure there. But I would expect it to kind of play out at this stage. So for the most part, that's kind of where this one sits, right? We're kind of just waiting to see how this next little few hours go. Now, obviously, I'm recording this at about 8:30 UTC +1 or GMT, BST or whatever they call it these days. And so that's about an hour and a half ahead of when this goes live on YouTube. Maybe there's going to be an extra couple of candles here that will make things a little bit clearer. But ultimately, I'm looking for a little move here. And then what I'm looking for is another bigger three-wave structure here, and then another three-wave structure going up here, finally finishing this off with some kind of final fifth wave movement. So I'm looking for something like this, very overlappy. And ultimately what it will do, if that's even a word, by the way, is we'll end up with a parallel channel, I think. Basically lower highs and lower lows, which have a tendency to break upwards. Okay, so that's kind of where I see this one. It's going to be potentially drawn out a little bit over the course of today, maybe tomorrow, and then a big break upwards. Okay, so keep an eye on that. We'll see how it kind of goes. So that's Elliott wave theory, right? We broke down from our triangle, looking to finish off this bigger ABC structure, ABC structure down here. Already drawn it on. It's that one right there. So we can kind of see that playing out. That's quite nice. Now, from smart money concepts, what's happened here? Well, we've got something really important, and that is this change of characteristic right here. This change of characteristic takes us out of a bullish state on this hourly chart. Okay, this started way back down here with this candle. So this happened in March 13th. Okay, we had this bullish change of character. Then we started to go on up. Now we've got a bearish change of character. Things are going to potentially start moving down. Now, last time we saw one of these, we did see a pretty significant move to the downside, right? So last time we saw this, we saw a move that took us down 18%. Okay, likewise, when we saw the change of character to the upside, find that down here, we had a move that took us, find the high, approximately right about here, 28%, right? So now we've seen this printed on our chart here, we have to consider that there is going to be a meaningful move to the downside. It doesn't mean that we have to go in a straight line and that we move straight down there, because I am expecting a relief bounce, right? So we know that they have this kind of structure that's going on, right? And we're looking at taking this into this low, right? Just down here, a little bit lower than the existing week low. Okay, then we're looking for a bit of a relief bounce to the upside. Okay, and that's not going to change our characteristic. That's just going to confirm that, well, say confirm, it's going to basically just be a relief from the initial pull to the downside. Then I think what we're going to end up with is another either 5-wave drop or 3-wave drop, continuing our motion to the downside here. This is going to be something that plays out over a long period of time. It's not something that's going to be seen almost right away, but you'll kind of be able to see this because we're going to see a bit of a move back up to probably towards equilibrium. Right in here, you can kind of see that we lost this area that was support, okay, and we've got to go ahead and turn it into resistance. We can also see that we've lost the 200 EMA as our support, so again, turning that into resistance will be interesting to kind of see. Same with our 50 EMA as well. We can see all these red areas. Again, these are, of course, our internal order blocks for selling. So we see all the sellers up there, and you see the little bit of buying pressure down here, right where we seem to have our final fifth wave movement to the downside, by the way, guys. So those two things are coinciding quite nicely. If I actually go ahead and draw in the expectations of our final fifth wave movement, you'll see it has a little bit of overlap right in there. Okay, so we can see that we end up with this kind of move to the downside that would coincide with the entire movement of everything that we've seen. But with it being a diagonal, it might just fall short of that target or just hit into that upper range of the target. But one of the things that we do know is it will basically overlap with this internal order block right in here, and also the weak low and our discounted range at the moment. So Elliott Wave theory, smart money concepts, I think is actually coming together quite nicely here to kind of give us a bit of an idea as to where things currently are. So the change of character is a pretty big deal. The fact that we have lost the EMAs as support and we're below equilibrium gives us a weak low. There's only one internal order block here where we've got a lot of selling order blocks on slightly higher ranges. People are going to start the fear's going to start setting in that maybe they've missed the ability to sell the top of this local swing. So chances are people are going to start to really worry and start to sell a little bit cheaper. We'll see how that kind of compounds down. There is a fair value gap here that, again, it was picked up yesterday briefly, but it's missing on this hourly chart. I'm not sure if it's going to show on here. Yeah, there we go. So you can see it right in here. It actually should sit right in here as well, but it doesn't seem to show on this hourly chart like it does show here. So we know that there's going to be a move up here, okay, and this is going to coincide with our equilibrium, okay? You can kind of see that in there. If I actually draw this on, it's right there, okay? And the prices for this is going to be 27,313 to 27,600, okay? But I don't think we can go after this until we first of all completed that little bit of a move to the downside. So we've got to come down, then this is the area that we're going to, considering we're oversold on the daily 8 hour, 4 hour, and so forth. So for the most part, that's kind of where I place that. Now, if I'm going to trade this, what am I going to do? Well, I am going to be looking for a long position. I'm going to look to do that somewhere down here. Going to be looking at that range there, and I'm going to be looking for a very, very tight stop loss. Okay, but I'm going to be having to look at Elliott Wave theory, and I'm going to be looking to try to time that. I'll snipe that final fifth wave movement, and if it's an ending diagonal, we should have a pretty good idea as to kind of where that's going to go. So ultimately, that's kind of where I place this. Now, if you haven't yet signed up to BitGet, check that out, linked in the description down below. It's a fantastic platform for your spot trading, for your leverage trading. It's the place I go to do all my trading these days. They do some fantastic offers, such as the cashback offer, where you get 50 USD, deposit $50 USDT and get $10 USDT back. They do rewards and deposit bonuses all the way up to $8,000, depending on how much you deposit and how much trading volume you do. Above and beyond those things, though, we are using BitGet as a funnel for our own competitions down in our Discord server. So if you are trading and you want to trade on BitGet using our link in the description below, you'll be able to participate in weekly competitions where we have up to $100 USDT up for grabs for the one person who has the best ROI percentage within a 1 week period. It resets every single week, and so you can participate every single week. The aim here is to have as many people participating as possible so that we can increase that prize pool. We'd like to get it to 1,000 a week, then 10,000 a week, and split that pool not just to the one person who wins, but maybe the top 10 people, for example, and all that kind of wonderful stuff. It's very early stages, but if that does sound of interest to you, why not check it out? Our Discord server, linked in the description below. Sign up to BitGet, create an account, and don't forget to kind of register for the competition every single week. But yeah, BitGet is kind of the one place I go to these days. I don't have so many problems with the wicks that you see on some other platforms at the moment. So it's my go-to platform, both for spot and for leverage. So check it out, linked in the description below. So yeah, when it comes to my trading ideas here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be looking for a good entry in this final fifth wave movement, and then go long up towards our equilibrium here. I think that's going to be a fantastic place to do, but I do want a tight stop loss on that one. Don't want to be kind of getting caught out, if possible, with an overexposed trade, specifically when we're going against the characteristic, right? So it's bearish right now, so we're going to go long, we're going to go against that idea, and so important that we get a nice tight stop loss on that one if we possible. So I'm going to leave the video there. If you found it useful and informative, guys, hit that like button. Really do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Don't forget to join us in Discord, guys. Have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you in the next one.
We are not financial advisors, and none of what we have communicated verbally or in writing here should be considered as financial advice. It is not. Do your own research before investing in any digital asset or affiliate offers, and understand that investing in any crypto is risky. If you do, you need to be prepared to lose your entire investment. This video is for information and entertainment purposes only. All our videos are strictly personal opinions. Please make sure you do your own research and never take our opinions for financial guidance. There are multiple strategies, and not all strategies fit all people. Our videos are not financial advice.